What's up guys, I'm JD from Affinity Collective Tech. When building a computer, people tend to focus on the major components such as the CPU and the graphics card. What impact does a motherboard have on your system? And what features should you be looking for? Today we'll find out. There are many features that come with today's motherboards. Many companies such as Asus and MSI tout their gaming motherboards as top-of-the-line products. In the end though, you really only need your motherboard to do a few key things. Before you start your search for the perfect motherboard, you need to know what exactly you're planning to put in your system. Each generation of processor has its own specific socket for the CPU. Once you buy a motherboard with a particular socket, it will only work with that type. There can't be any mixing of generations, especially between Intel CPUs. On the flip side, AM3 and AM3 Plus sockets are backwards compatible. Both AMD and Intel have a wide range of CPUs on each socket, so you should be able to find something within your budget. The next thing you really need to worry about is form factor. How big is your case going to be? There are many different size options including ATX and Mini ATX, which are the most popular, but also extending to ITX boards and the massive eATX. The size of the board varies how much expandability you have. With a standard ATX board, you have 4 RAM slots, 7 PCI Express lanes, and usually a slew of SATA connectors and other things to fill your needs. With a Mini ATX, those RAM slots can cut down to just 2, while also leaving the PCIe slots to around 4. These can influence your decision depending on what other hardware you plan on putting in your PC. Speaking of RAM slots, make sure that you have enough to fill your need. For almost all users, the standard 2 or 4 channel layout will be plenty. If you're running something like a video server or render farm, however, the up to 8 slots can come in handy for getting up to 128 GB of RAM. Make sure to take a look at the supported RAM speeds for your motherboard. Newegg does a great job of listing all the specs. Here you can find what RAM speeds are natively supported by your board. While you are there, you may want to check and see how many PCIe slots it has as well. ATX boards come with 7 PCIe lanes, while Mini ATX boards have 4. Depending on what your needs are, you may need to fill all 7 of these lanes. The most common PCIe lane today is PCIe 3.0, which is also backwards compatible with PCIe 2.0. Make sure you've considered all the possible add-ons that could take up a PCIe lane. Items such as sound cards, GPUs, NICs, and Wi-Fi adapters can all be added on through these slots. Often an overlooked feature on motherboards is the storage connectivity. I personally felt that with the release of the Skylake chip, the motherboards released put a huge emphasis on storage connectivity. Modern boards offer up a huge number of connections including SATA Express, SATA 3 ports, M.2 slots, and with the somewhat emergence of PCIe based storage, you have those options as well. Storage technology is advancing at an extremely fast pace with improvements being made by the likes of Samsung and Intel, with crazy fast read and writes, all while providing reliability. Even if you don't need all these different storage options, it's always a good idea to look and know exactly what you're getting in order to be able to expand in the future. To round it all off, take a look at what kind of rear I/O you are going to get, as I personally use 7 USB devices in my setup, so a board that has at least that many was needed for me. USB 3.0, 3.1, and even Type-C is being introduced on motherboards. Check and see what kind of audio jacks are being offered. Does it have 5.1 channel or a basic mic and headphone jack? Along with all that, if you don't have a dedicated GPU, you'll need to know if it has connections such as HDMI, VGA, and DVI, and how many monitors that motherboard can support at one time. Check and see how many Ethernet ports you have. If you'd like to hook up something like a NAS to your PC, 2 of these would come in handy. And with that, we wrap up our guide on what to look for in a motherboard. Let us know in the comments below if you have any questions or would like a suggestion on what motherboard to buy. While you're down there, drop us a like and subscribe to help support our channel. As always, see you guys next time.